My name is Sarah. I love to wake up early in the morning. The first thing I do is smile. I smile because a new day has started. A new day means new chances. It is like opening a gift every morning. I think of how I will spend my day. Each day is like a small story. It is a story I get to write. After I get up, I make my bed. It is a small job, but it makes me feel good. A clean bed makes my room look nice. It is the first good thing I do each day. I think if I can do this small job well, I can do other jobs well too. Making my bed is like starting the day with a win. It makes me feel ready for more wins. After that, I brush my teeth. I like the fresh feeling it gives me. It is a way to start clean. I think about the day ahead. Brushing my teeth is a simple task, but it is important. It is like how small steps lead to big changes. Each small thing we do adds up. This thought helps me to stay positive. I always drink water after brushing my teeth. Water is life. It wakes up my body. It makes me feel fresh and ready. I think, just like my body needs water, my mind needs good thoughts. So, I try to think good things. I tell myself today will be a good day. This small act of drinking water is a reminder to take care of myself. After drinking water, I like to go for a walk. Walking in the morning is peaceful. The world is still quiet. I can hear the birds sing. It is a time to think and plan. As I walk, I think about what I want to do. Walking helps me to clear my mind. It is like getting a fresh start every day. I remember a quote, "A walk in the morning is the best way to start the day." When I return home, I feel full of energy. I am ready to have breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite meal. It gives me energy for the day. I like to eat fruits and bread. Sometimes I have eggs too. A good breakfast makes me strong. I remember a saying, "Eat breakfast like a king." This means breakfast is very important. After breakfast, I get ready for work. I choose my clothes carefully. What I wear makes me feel confident. When I look good, I feel good. It is important to start the day with confidence. I think, if I feel good, I can do good work. This thought helps me to start my work with a smile. My work is important to me. I enjoy what I do. When I work, I give it my best. I remember a quote, "Do your best, and the rest will follow." This quote guides me every day. I try to stay focused. I do one thing at a time. This helps me to do my work well. I think good work leads to good results. This thought keeps me motivated. During the day, I take short breaks. Breaks help me to stay fresh. I like to have a cup of tea. Tea helps me to relax. I remember a short memory from my childhood. My mother would always make tea for us. She said, "Tea is a small break in a busy day." This memory makes me smile. It reminds me to enjoy the small things in life. After work, I like to read a book. Reading helps me to learn new things. It also helps me to relax. I think a good book is a good friend. Books have always been a part of my life. I remember how I started reading as a child. It was a way to explore new worlds. Now, reading is a part of my daily routine. It is a habit I love. In the evening, I spend time with my family. Family time is important. We talk and share our day. It is a time to connect. I think family is like a strong tree. It gives us roots and support. This thought makes me feel grateful. I am thankful for my family. They are my support. Before bed, I like to reflect on my day. I think about what I did well. I also think about what I can do better. This helps me to learn and grow. I remember a quote, "Each day is a new chance to be better." This quote helps me to keep improving. I think tomorrow is another day to try again. As I lie in bed, I feel calm. I know that I did my best today. I am ready to rest and recharge. Sleep is important for a good day. I think good sleep is the key to a good morning. With this thought, I close my eyes. I let go of the day and look forward to tomorrow. Every day is a chance to learn and grow. My daily routine helps me to stay focused and positive. I believe that small habits lead to big changes. This belief guides my life. I think life is made up of small moments. Each moment is a step on the path. This thought helps me to stay on track. In my daily life, I also focus on learning English. Learning is a part of my routine. It is like a journey. Each day, I take a small step on this journey. I think learning is like climbing a mountain. Each step brings you closer to the top. This thought keeps me motivated to keep learning. One way I improve my English is by listening to stories. Stories are a great way to learn. They help me to understand new words. I think stories are like windows to new worlds. This makes learning fun and interesting. I remember a time when I struggled with a word. I learned it by hearing it in a story. Now, that word is easy for me. Another way I learn is by practicing speaking. Speaking helps me to use what I have learned. I think practice makes perfect. This saying is true. The more I practice, the better I get. I try to speak English every day. This helps me to become more confident. I remember a quote, "Confidence is the key to success." This quote helps me to keep practicing. I also like to write in English. Writing is a good way to express myself. It helps me to organize my thoughts. I think Writing is like painting with words. This thought makes writing enjoyable. I remember a time when I wrote my first story in English. It was not perfect, but it was a start. Now, writing is a part of my daily routine. Learning English has become a part of my life. It is something I do every day. It is like a seed I plant each morning. With time, it grows into a strong tree. I think learning is a lifelong journey. This thought keeps me going, even on tough days. I also find that learning is easier when I have a routine. My daily routine helps me to stay on track. It gives me time to focus on my goals. I think a good routine is like a map. It shows you the way. This thought helps me to stay disciplined. In my routine, I also make time for relaxation. Relaxation is important for learning. It helps me to recharge. I think rest is a part of the journey. This thought reminds me to take care of myself. I remember a time when I worked too hard without rest. I felt tired and could not focus. Now, I make sure to relax every day. I like to listen to music as a way to relax. Music helps me to unwind. It also helps me with my English. I think music is a language everyone understands. This thought makes learning fun. I remember how I learned a new word from a song. It made learning easy and enjoyable. In the evening, I also like to watch English movies. Movies are a fun way to learn. They help me to understand how people speak. I think movies are like stories come to life. This thought makes watching movies a part of my learning routine. I remember a time when I learned a phrase from a movie. Now, I use that phrase in my daily conversations. Before bed, I like to review what I have learned. Reviewing helps me to remember. It is a way to make sure I am learning well. I think reviewing is like watering a plant. It helps the plant to grow. This thought helps me to stay consistent in my learning. I also keep a journal in English. Writing in a journal helps me to practice. It is a way to see my progress. I think a journal is like a mirror. It shows you how far you have come. This thought motivates me to keep writing every day. I remember a time when I read my old journal entries. It made me realize how much I have learned. My daily routine is a balance of work, learning, and relaxation. It helps me to stay focused and happy. I think a balanced life is a happy life. This thought guides me in everything I do. I believe that with a good routine, I can achieve my goals. Learning English is a big part of my life. It is a journey I enjoy every day. I think each day is a step towards fluency. This thought keeps me motivated. I believe that with hard work and a good routine, I can achieve anything. In my journey, I also focus on speaking English fluently. Speaking is important for communication. I think fluency is the key to clear communication. This thought helps me to practice speaking every day. I remember a time when I struggled with fluency. With practice, I became more confident. I like to practice speaking with friends. Speaking with others helps me to learn new things. I think friends are like teachers. They help you to learn. This thought makes speaking practice enjoyable. I remember a time when a friend corrected my mistake. It helped me to learn the correct way. In my daily routine, I also focus on listening. Listening is important for understanding. I think good listeners are good learners. This thought guides me to listen carefully. I remember a time when I learned a new word just by listening. It showed me the power of listening. I like to listen to English podcasts. Podcasts are a great way to learn. They help me to hear how people speak in real life. I think podcasts are like lessons on the go. This thought makes listening a part of my daily routine. I remember a time when I learned a new phrase from a podcast. Now, I use that phrase often. In the evening, I also like to watch English news. News helps me to learn about the world. It also helps me to learn new words. I think news is like a window to the world. This thought makes watching news a part of my routine. I remember a time when I learned a new word from a news report. It helped me to understand the report better. Before bed, I like to reflect on my day. Reflecting helps me to see what I did well. It also helps me to see where I can improve. I think reflection is the key to growth. This thought helps me to keep learning every day. I remember a time when I reflected on my progress. It made me feel proud of how far I have come. My daily routine is a mix of work, learning, and relaxation. It helps me to stay focused and happy. I think a good routine is the foundation of success. This thought guides me in everything I do. I believe that with a strong routine, I can achieve my goals. In my journey to learn English, I also focus on writing. Writing is important for expressing thoughts. I think writing is the art of communication. This thought helps me to practice writing every day. I remember a time when I wrote my first English essay. It was a challenge, but I learned a lot. I like to write about my day in English. Writing about my day helps me to practice. It also helps me to reflect. I think writing is a way to organize thoughts. This thought makes writing a part of my daily routine. I remember a time when I read my old writings. It showed me how much I have improved. In my daily routine, I also make time for reading. Reading is important for learning new words. I think Reading is the key to knowledge. This thought guides me to read every day. I remember a time when I read my first English book. It was a great achievement. I like to read English stories. Stories are a fun way to learn. They help me to understand new words in context. I think stories are like journeys to new worlds. This thought makes reading enjoyable. I remember a time when I learned a new word from a story. Now, that word is easy for me to use. In the evening, I also like to read English articles. Articles help me to learn about different topics. They also help me to learn new words. I think articles are like lessons in small bites. This thought makes reading a part of my routine. I remember a time when I learned a new phrase from an article. It helped me to express myself better. Before bed, I like to review what I have read. Reviewing helps me to remember. It is a way to make sure I am learning well. I think reviewing is like polishing a gem. It makes it shine. This thought helps me to stay consistent in my learning. My daily routine is a balance of work, learning, and relaxation. It helps me to stay focused and happy. I think a balanced life is a happy life. This thought guides me in everything I do. I believe that with a good routine, I can achieve my goals. Learning English is a big part of my life. It is a journey I enjoy every day. I think each day is a step towards fluency. This thought keeps me motivated. I believe that with hard work and a good routine, I can achieve anything. In my journey, I also focus on improving my vocabulary. Vocabulary is important for expressing ideas. I think words are the tools of communication. This thought helps me to learn new words every day. I remember a time when I learned a new word and used it in a sentence. It felt great to use it correctly. I like to learn new words through reading. Reading helps me to see how words are used. I think reading is the best way to learn vocabulary. This thought makes learning words a part of my daily routine. I remember a time when I learned a difficult word from a book. Now, that word is easy for me to use. In my daily routine, I also focus on using new words. Using new words helps me to remember them. I think practice is the key to mastery. This thought guides me to use new words in my conversations. I remember a time when I used a new word correctly. It gave me confidence. In the evening, I like to review new words. Reviewing helps me to remember them better. I think reviewing is like watering a plant. It helps it to grow. This thought makes reviewing a part of my routine. I remember a time when I reviewed a list of new words. It helped me to remember them for a long time. Before bed, I like to reflect on my progress. Reflecting helps me to see how much I have learned. I think reflection is the mirror of learning. This thought helps me to keep improving every day. I remember a time when I reflected on my vocabulary growth. It made me feel proud. My daily routine is a mix of work, learning, and relaxation. It helps me to stay focused and happy. I think a good routine is the foundation of success. This thought guides me in everything I do. I believe that with a strong routine, I can achieve my goals